Usually I do these kind of things in the form of just questions. I ask a lot of questions, and sometimes that's where I feel like I can give off the most clarity, and I have the desire to want to share these things. And this is my first video that I've done in regards to it, so I'm confident it'll just be a success because I'm going to try my best. Basically, I wanted to share things with you that I think would be helpful. I'm 26 years old and obviously, obviously, a male. So it's a demographic that I don't know that really gets hit that much with these kind of ideas and spiritual kind of just, I don't know, thinking patterns and things like that. So my goal is to just share what helps me, because I am really passionate about it, and I go into a lot of depth with a lot of ways to help with pain, ways to help with inner turmoil, inner pain, and so that's what we're gonna do. I feel a lot of pain, and it's energetic thing. It resides in my stomach, it resides in my chest, it can reside in my throat, and it can squeeze and tighten, and I've had to do a ton of work on all this stuff. I haven't always had the easiest time with social settings and situations. I also haven't, just always had the easiest time in general with confidence and trusting that I have the capability to do things, So, yeah, with that said, it's been quite a journey to figure it out and figure out what can I do with these feelings existing in my body. What can I do? And it's a question a lot of people have. What can we do? And I'll tell you what we can do. Some things, and I haven't planned any of this, so just off the top of my head, but a huge thing is looking at how we talk to ourselves, and the method that I found that's best for this is I, with conviction, choose, and the point isn't to change yourself, because I've gotten mixed feedback on this, and I personally, I'm open to all feedback. I just think that maybe the point gets missed, is that with as long as you have the intention not to change yourself, it's just you play. That's the important thing, is you're playing. You're not trying to get rid of anything. You're not trying to change anything. Of course, yeah, that's in the back of your mind, but the main thing is you're present, you play, you're playing in this with new ideas. So with that said, focus on changing every single thought to positive. And I mean with conviction, and I don't mean just do it once and it doesn't work. I mean decide for yourself right now that you are going to change every thought you have into a positive one, no matter what comes up. So what comes up could be something that says, I can't do that. I'm not capable. I can't do it. And what I immediately would do is I sense that coming up. And the thing is that is, those kind of thoughts are deep rooted. Those ones are ones that if that's coming up automatic, that's in your subconscious. That means you've been thinking that for years and years. You've been thinking that for years and years. And so what do we do about these kind of things that we've been thinking for years and years and years and years? Because that's what's going to be automatic and without effort. And that's the thing, is it is effort. It's just not that easy, and at least rest assured that it's not easy for anyone. And what is easy is to think that everyone else has it all together, because that's what I've always, tend to thought. And I put on a mask a lot of the time, and that's something I'm working on, is to not put on that mask. But we all just put on that mask that, that looks like, yep, everything's a-okay, everything's great, I'm confident, I'm whatever the mask is that you put on. But don't compare your inside to another person's outside, because your inside is the only thing you can feel and the only thing you know. And we can look at another person's outside and think we know, but we don't. We're not inside their body. We don't know their experience. So just to take what you see from their outside with a grain of salt, you know what I mean? And if you feel it, a truth is, if you feel it, we're all human beings, and a lot of people feel that. There are no new thoughts, no new emotions, no new feelings. If you feel it, rest assured that tons of people do too. So that's something that, at least for me, gives me confidence in knowing that, Not that I want others to experience it, but just knowing that that's a truth and that I don't have to feel so alone in that. Yeah, so with that said, I was going somewhere with that. Where was I going with it? So changing all your thinking to positive thoughts. So what it's doing is catching every time that it's negative. It catches it, it catches it, it catches it, and you just have that assurance that you're going to think positive. And so you catch every time that you're not. You catch that, you know? And so when you catch it, every time that you catch it, that's an opportunity to change it, and that's an opportunity to reframe it to what you would like to, the way you'd like to speak to yourself. I'll put it that way. And it helps you identify and become aware of how you are subconsciously, how you have learned to speak to yourself, the things you believe about yourself. And that, when I do it, it is amazing how much of my self-talk is negative. And it's kind of a sad thing to see sometimes, of just how much of that is ingrained negative. You know, if I don't make a conscious effort, it's I can't do this, I won't be liked, I'll be judged, I'm afraid, I am unhappy, this sucks, this hurts, this shouldn't be happening, I hate life is so boring, I shouldn't have to go to work every day, I shouldn't have to support myself, it's too much responsibility. That's a inner monologue that goes on all the time. And so to catch that is good, because at least now I'm aware of that, you know, now I'm aware of these things that I'm thinking about myself. And it's not a surprise when your life goes in a certain direction with those kind of things running in your mind, because if I am saying this and I believe it, that I can't do it, it's too much responsibility. Well, where's my life gonna go? You know, how is it that I'll magically arrive at something else with that playing in my mind? I mean, just it's obvious to me that that can't happen. Got a pincher bug on my floor, but I'll get him later. Except he's coming right for me and my feet. So that's an important place to begin. And giving yourself, it's just, you know, you talk about, and you hear in spirituality, giving yourself love and loving yourself. And well, what does that even mean? And to me, it's a conviction that I will not disregard myself. I will not put myself down. And as simply as I choose not to talk to myself in that way, that I can't do something, that I'm incapable of doing something, that something is too hard, that I won't be liked, that I will be judged, that I'm afraid I won't speak to myself in that way, you know? And it's just that conviction of going, look, I choose something different. I choose something different. And what I choose is the opposite of all those things. And I get that it might not really feel real, you know, you say something and it's like that just doesn't feel like, that's obviously not true. You know, if I say, sometimes I'll say something like, yeah, no, I can do it, or this is easy, or I feel joyful, and it's like, dude, that is not true. And that's okay that it doesn't feel true, because another thing is with conviction that I will never give up. And so just because I say it once and all of a sudden I go, oh yeah, that doesn't work, well, that is a product of that same thinking pattern that I'm in, of just giving up immediately. So with conviction, you say, I will never, ever give up. I'm not giving up. I know I can do it. And so what if it doesn't feel real the first time I say it? Am I going to lay down and just beat myself and kick myself because of that? No, I'm going to get up and I'll say it and I go, yeah, I really like myself. And I go, that doesn't quite resonate. It feels kind of almost hard to say, almost like I have to grit my teeth to say it. Well, that's proof that I'm moving forward. It's proof that I'm trying. It's proof that I'm pushing forward. It's proof that I'm not giving up. And I choose not to give up just because that feels weird. Because how do I want to talk to myself? That's exactly how. That is exactly the way I want to talk to myself. And if that's the case, then I go ahead and choose not to change anything, but because that's what I've decided is how I would like to speak to myself and the kindness and love I'd like to bring to life, I choose to do that. And so what if it doesn't feel like it feels right in the moment? We're doing something new. We're going against however many years you have of conditioned thinking, and have conditioned just automatic, in your deepest subconscious mind. That's the way you perceive life, perceive yourself. And so going against that, and not even against, but working on shifting that, is one of the hardest things that you can do. And so blessings to you. Good on you if you try and do it. And we're humans, so we'll forget a million times and then catch it and go, oh, I forgot. And that is okay. You're doing one of the hardest things there is to do. But if you keep going, that is absolutely the biggest thing that matters there, is to keep going. And to not, and it's just a refusal to lay down and kick yourself. It's a I will get back up. And that in itself is such a huge mindset shift, from the place of, if I fall, I failed, to, if I fall, I will get back up. Because that in itself is what you're cultivating with anything else you could say. That's it. It's a loving yourself through adversity, because we all face adversity. We all face things that are less than ideal in our life, or things, or emotions that are so painful that you feel gutturally, in your chest, in your stomach, anywhere. And so that being a huge shift right there. That's a big piece of advice I can offer. And it's not an easy one. It sounds simple, and it is simple, and it's also not the easiest thing in the world. Until it starts to feel a lot better. So, just keep at it. Refuse to kick yourself. Refuse to be unkind to yourself. Refuse to judge yourself. And I say, start there, because it gets harder. Not harder, but we have to be able to do that to offer those same kinds of loving intent to others. But if you feel up for it, give that to others too. Send them a silent blessing as they go by, and just say, I love you. I hope you have a great day, or whatever feels right to you. You don't have to say mine just because that feels good to me. Oops. But yeah, so that's a good piece of advice I wanted to offer. And I guess I'll just talk more stuff from the heart, But as we go through life, it's just amazing to me how many times the pain can come back in. It can just, I feel like, I think I've made some sort of discovery, or I've done something, and now it's all good. Now I have, all of a sudden, wow, I feel good. I'm better than I have in a while. This is my new reality. This is how it's going to be. And then, time and time again, something comes around to just kick me. And all of a sudden I'm back in that old feeling, and that old pain in my chest, in my stomach, in my thinking, in my throat, in my, wherever it resides. I'm back in that old pain, and it is frustrating. It is so frustrating. And this is a big thing from spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle? People say it different. I don't know. I say Eckhart Tolle, so that's what I'm going to do. Is being in the body. And I've done this extensively. I have seen a ton of benefit, is be in your body. So it's amazing, because something can be so painful that it feels unbearable. It seems like I'm not going to get through. I can't get through it. It's hard. It is hard. It can be hard. And it's this idea that before I go into anything, even mental, even before I go into working with positive thinking, sometimes what I like to do is go into my body, and I have to acknowledge that emotion first, because it's very important to me that I'm not trying to change anything about my life. And that's if that happens, it happens. But all I'm worried about is working on patterns. How can I work on myself? Can I work on my thinking? I'm not changing things. I'm not changing. All I'm doing is playing in, can I change my thinking? That's as simple as it is. So with that in mind, can I go into my stomach? Say the pain resides there. Can I go into my stomach? And can I feel what this feeling is like? And can I go into it? And then your attention will want to keep going into your mind, to think about it and think about how painful it is and all that, which it is. It's true. It's true. But as best you can, keep going into that feeling and take your attention into, in this example, my stomach, and breathe and notice how horrendous it feels. Notice how badly I want to escape. Notice how dark and cold it can feel, and disgusting, and like this, just like, it just almost makes you want to puke. And running from that has never gotten rid of it for me. Never. It never has. And so it's the kind of thing that I think on one hand, a lot of times we think, well, if I do that, what's going to happen to me? If I just let that emotion be and I don't try it, I'm not fighting it, what's going to happen to me? Well, it can't be any worse than what you've been doing. I mean, I'll speak for myself, what I've been doing. It can't be any worse than pushing it away. It can't be any worse than shoving it down, than thinking and trying to think myself out of it. It can't be any worse than that, because that's never worked for me. It's never worked to push an emotion away. It's never gotten rid of it. And so, in going into it, before I use any of my tactics or my tools or techniques on shifting and playing and shifting my mentality and thoughts, I go to my stomach, I feel what it is, and I acknowledge it. And then if you know of a spiritual teacher, Matt Kahn, he says you can give I love yous. You can say to your that feeling in your stomach, wherever it's most intense in the moment for you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and acknowledge what that is that the pain? Is it related to thoughts about the pain? Is it that you can't accept the pain in the moment? If it's a fear about a relationship, is it what's most intense right now? Is it the pain in your stomach? Is it the thoughts of, say it's a fear of someone leaving you or not appreciating you? Is it, maybe you could love the one, and there's so many layers to this, maybe you could love the one who doesn't want to accept the pain, and that in itself is a form of acceptance, loving that, or even if love feels too strong, just accepting that right now I cannot accept this pain. At least I can accept that, and that brings in relief. It brings in relief to go, in this moment, I have this pain. Let me see, can I accept it? Can I accept that I'm feeling this pain in my stomach right now? No, I can't. I want it to go away so badly. Okay, can I accept that I want it to go away so badly, and right now I just can't accept it? Yeah, I can accept that. I can accept that right now. I can accept that, and that's where I'm at. And if that's where I'm at, that's present. That's getting present. That is being in the present moment. That is presence. A huge thing to remember is, for so long I thought that being present, as I hear all the time in spiritual teachings, being present, I thought, well, if I was doing this right, I would feel great. I would feel happy and joyful and bliss, right? And that was actually such a damaging way to be viewing that, because it wasn't true. I thought, okay, let me try and be present. I must not be present because I still feel pain, and so I'm not doing this right. And no, being present means being present with whatever is going on now. If you are in pain, your being present doesn't mean that you're outside that pain. It means you go into that. And I know that sounds hard, and it is kind of hard. And sometimes you don't want to, and so I just have to love that part that sometimes I don't want to. I don't want to go into the pain, and I will drink it away. I will some things I don't feel like saying. I guess maybe I'll do it another time. I'm like, oh God. But I'll drink it away, I'll think it away, I'll YouTube it away, any other method. Oh, exciting experience it away. Desperately have to find an exciting way to distract myself. And that's one that I see a ton, and is just kind of unfortunate, and I think detrimental to people. It's like, how this is a funny way to say it, but how badly do you need your life to be a movie? You know what I mean? Like, if you look around, like, how many people are really enjoying themselves at the bar? Or is there a reason everyone's drunk as AF, is it that I need, is it more that I need my life to be a movie? So if tonight I go out, boom, 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 I'm doing stuff, I'm cool, I'm this, I'm that. Just a thought, but it's obvious to me that can be used as a distraction. A lot of times I want to push away emotions or situations by amazifying my life. What did I do? That was so cool. What experience did I have that now I can say I did that this weekend? I can tell other people about it, and anyways, it's one that I notice. And, I just come from where I come from, and my thinking, and wherever I feel I'm at with my awareness. So if it resonates, it does, and if not, it doesn't. But I'm curious to hear, your thoughts on it, and if any of these things kind of, resonated with you. So, so don't change it is a good one. It's just, you play with your thinking, but only after you go in and work on accepting what's there. And if that means you can't accept it, then that's okay. That's where you're at, and that's being present. You don't have to feel blissed out and joyous to mean that you are present. If you are in touch with whatever emotion it is you're feeling at a given moment, you are present. And I kind of sense maybe some people are asking, well, why would I do that? Well, for one, pushing it away has never helped. Maybe briefly, but it's never really helped. And when you practice going into emotions, at least in my experience, they do shift. And it can throw up a lot of ugly stuff first, because all of a sudden it's almost like your body starts trusting you. Oh, he's here with us now. Let's see if he stays there. Even if I throw up this emotion, even if I throw up this, is he gonna stay there? And a lot of times the answer is no. And can I love that? Can I accept that? No, right now I can't stay there with it. And that's being present. If I can at least get to that point, and then maybe slowly I work up to it, and all of a sudden now I accepted that, I can't accept it enough to where I can look at the emotion and go, can I accept that right now I feel intense darkness, coldness, fear in my stomach, and can I sit there with it? Can I sit there with it and breathe into that? Maybe I'll sit right next to it, and I'll maybe put my hand on it wherever it's most intense, and can I breathe into it and breathe right into that feeling. And anyways, I guess it shifts, and it doesn't mean that it's gonna go away. And it's one of those hard things that we want things to just go away, I want things to just simply go away. And it doesn't always, and that is frustrating and hard. But I'm not willing to give up on myself, and that's what we started out this video with, was that I'm not willing to give up on myself, and it's hard, yeah. And does that mean it's a good reason to quit? No, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna work on it because I matter enough. And if I'm gonna be here on this earth anyway, there's two ways to be on this earth, I could mope and wish it was different, or I could make the best of the experience that I have. Byron Katie's another spiritual teacher, and she says that I can argue with reality, but when I do, I lose, but only 100% of the time. And it's true. If I argue with reality, and I argue with what is, whether that be an external event, whether that be an internal feeling, or emotion, if I argue with what is, I lose and it hurts. If I think that that shouldn't be happening, if I think life should be more fair, if I think life should bring me more money, if I think life should bring me more exciting experiences, more ease and more peace in my body, and I'm sitting here riddled with fear, it's just adding on to that pain to think it should be different. And it's adding on to that pain to think that things should be going smooth. So I just give a yes to what is happening, whatever that is. And then with that said, I just decide for myself that only good can come from this experience. And that comes from Louise Hay. Only good can come from this experience. And I just decide that that's true for me. That is true for me. I can do it. That's true for me. I've decided. I choose to pick myself up every time that I don't want to. It's true for me. I've decided. I choose to see the best in myself, and there is so much good in myself. That's true. I've decided. I am capable. That's true. I've decided. People love me and want to be around me. That's true. I've decided. Yeah. So those are ones that ring true for me. So decide for yourself, and I would really love to hear what some of those are in the comments, if just or a message or whatever. But just what you've decided for yourself, that is going to be your new reality. What's your new reality going to be? What are you deciding that's going to be? I want to know, because ones will ring true that are different for you than for me. And so anyways, but maybe those can be inspiring or something. And okay, I think that was a good enough video for today. So thanks if you listened, and even if you didn't, and gosh, I don't know. All right. Well, I should definitely leave it off with I love you, Thanks, if you're amazing. And I hope that it will resonate in the way that, I don't know, is different. Okay.